Just ahead on CTV News. Supporters rally at the courthouse today to bring Kilmar home. Plus, a near-death drowning experience over the holiday weekend. And we hear from the county executive on her plans for the Six Flags site. Those stories and more on CTV News, starting now.
Good evening, this is CTV News for July 7th. I'm Michaela Newman.
And I'm Byron Scott. Thank you for joining us tonight. Well, supporters of Kilmar Abrigo Garcia gathered outside the federal courthouse in Greenbelt this morning for a rally.
That's right. The rally was held before a hearing to determine if Garcia should be returned from a federal prison in Tennessee to Maryland. Garcia is being held in Tennessee on human trafficking charges.
Supporters say Garcia, who was mistakenly deported to a prison in El Salvador, belongs in Maryland.
He was picked up illegally arrested in Maryland. He's from Maryland. And I think we know that if he doesn't come back to Maryland and go in front of the immigration judge that ruled on his case originally, he's just going to get shuttled around the country, and he'll be lucky if he even gets a hearing. We're not convinced that the Trump administration just won't deport him summarily because they've done it before.
A ruling is expected soon. Well, if you were on the Bay Bridge this past Friday afternoon, you likely got caught up in a snarled traffic jam because of a crash involving a tractor-trailer and another vehicle. According to investigators, the vehicle in the eastbound lane swerved into the westbound lanes, striking the tractor-trailer. A medevac helicopter was called in to transport the driver of the vehicle to a nearby hospital. All westbound lanes were shut down until 2:30. The cause of the crash is still under investigation.
Now, the rides may be shutting down, but Prince George's County isn't staying still. With just 4 months until Six Flags America closes for good, county leaders say the work to reimagine those 500 acres is already underway. And despite back-to-back hits with the FBI, Six Flags and the commanders announcing their exits, County Executive Aisha Braveboy says the future isn't bleak, it's open.
We're already in talks about the redevelopment of Six Flags. I mean, Six Flags is a great site, and we're sorry and sad to see Six Flags go. So we're really excited about the opportunity to really reimagine the Six Flags site and, turn that into something that is more year-round uses, and then also attract people with families as well as adults, have restaurants and hotels and other types of uses there that will generate even more revenue for the county than what Six Flags generated.
The county says housing is not part of the plan. Instead, it's pushing for economic growth that benefits everyone. And the last day for Six Flags is November 2nd. And Prince George's police are investigating 2 fatal shootings in Landover over the weekend. Harry Lindsay was arrested for the murder of his girlfriend on Sunday. Officers arrived at the 700 block of Stretford Way Saturday and found Sharita Criswell, who was pronounced dead on the scene. Investigation shows Lindsay shot her during an argument. Meanwhile, officers arrived at the 7500 block of Allendale Drive for reports of another shooting Sunday. The victim, Jalen Livingston, was taken to the hospital where he later died. A $25,000 reward is offered for information leading to an arrest and indictment in this case.
And the teenage boy was rescued after nearly drowning over the 4th of July weekend. Police were called to the 1300 block of Golf Course Drive in Bowie just before 4 in the afternoon on Saturday. That's where they found the 13-year-old conscious and breathing. Fire and EMS said the teen was rescued from the water and given CPR by another swimmer. He was transported to an area hospital and is in critical condition.
Well, more than 500,000 kids in Maryland are getting some extra help with groceries this summer. The state just rolled out over $23 million through its Sunbucks program. That's $40 per child per month to help families cover the cost of food while school is out. It's the second summer for Sunbucks, and about 579,000 children are expected to benefit. But while the program is funded for this summer, its future is uncertain. A new federal budget bill could mean deep cuts to food assistance programs, raising concerns about how long help like this will last.
And at a desk on the driveway of the White House, President Trump signed the multi-trillion-dollar tax and spending cut bill, surrounded by cabinet members and Republican legislators on the July 4th weekend, July 4th. The so-called Big Beautiful Bill was signed into law. Fighter jets and stealth bombers streaked the sky over the annual White House 4th of July picnic as Trump banged the gavel, celebrating a legislative victory. Critics say the package is a giveaway to the rich and will rob lower-income people of their health insurance and food assistance. Meantime, Marylanders on Medicaid fear they could suffer significant health setbacks under the president's budget bill that was signed into law again on Friday. The bill will cut Medicaid by $793 billion nationwide over 10 years. Medicaid recipients will not immediately lose access to their health insurance. The new policies are set to phase in over time. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. must issue an implementation plan for the bill's new Medicaid policies by December 31st.
New ethics disclosures show that some of members of Maryland's congressional delegation or their staff took thousands of dollars in trips funded by outside groups, many with strong policy interests on Capitol Hill. The travel destinations, Bellagio on Italy's Lake Como, Dublin and Belfast in Northern Ireland, Tel Aviv, even Orlando. Lawmakers on those trips included Senator Chris Van Hollen and Congressman Andy Harris, sometimes joined by their spouses. Now, the travel is allowed under congressional rules, but critics say these kinds of all-expenses-paid trips, often in business class to luxurious destinations, only add to public distrust in elected officials.
And you're watching CTV News. I'm Byron Scott.
And I'm Michaela Newton. Still to come, whether you're looking for a new home or just enjoy window shopping.
Stay tuned for our newest segment highlighting homes in the county. Back in a moment. Stay tuned.
Mom, did you really need to buy 2 can openers for our emergency kit?
I can't help it. They're 2 for 1. What's this?
We need to keep our family communication plan safe in case of an emergency.
Thanks, Tita. Oh, man.
Well, good thing we kept all the lights we used for Diwali.
I've got the battery pack.
Keep my phone powered so we don't miss any alerts.
What about game night?
Sounds good.
Oh, we have to get to Mom and Dad's and get them somewhere safe. I've got the evacuation route loaded on my phone.
I've got an updated list of Dad's meds.
And I've got just what we need to get them to take this seriously.
If that doesn't convince them that we thought this through, I don't know what would.
Start a conversation with your family and plan together for emergencies.
Welcome back. The county school system will be providing free summer meals starting today at multiple school and community locations. All children ages 18 and younger have access to free breakfast, lunch, and summer meals from 8 schools and 8 libraries. School sites will be open till July 31st. Community sites will be open until August 8th. Kids must be accompanied by a parent or guardian, and no registration is required. For more information, go to the PGCTV website and visit the summer meals page.
Well, it reads like the plot of a crime thriller, but prosecutors say it's real. Now, 2 men are facing felony charges. Police say Zheng Hui Chi and Juan Wei Wang ran a sophisticated scheme using spoofed calls, fake threats, and cash pickups disguised as government business. The victim received a fake text claiming the victim's Apple account had been breached and had been used for fraudulent purchases. On 2 occasions, she was instructed to withdraw cash, handing it directly to the suspects.
Both April 28th and April 29th, the suspects convinced the victim to withdraw a total of approximately $62,000 in cash from her bank and hand the cash to an unknown suspect posing as Federal Trade Commission employees who arrived at her residence.
They prey on persons that really, in many instances, are very responsible. So if somebody texts you and says, you know, if you don't pay this money immediately, then your license is going to be suspended. And so most of us that are responsible don't want our license suspended. And so we'll do whatever necessary, what we believe is necessary, to make sure that that is not the case.
Investigators believe the men are linked to a larger scheme that may have netted over $700,000 from multiple victims. They say if you get a suspicious message, don't engage. Instead, call police or email the county's Financial Crimes Unit. You can find that information right there on your screen.
And Maryland State Police announced that a new state-of-the-art Forestville barrack is scheduled to open in 2028. The current building at the intersection of Pennsylvania Avenue and Forestville Road is slated for demolition, which will create space for the new facility. Starting July 14th, troopers will relocate to the College Park barrack. Police say the temporary change will not impact public safety services. The location has served Prince George's County for the past 55 years.
Well, according to new census numbers, Marylanders are aging slightly faster than the rest of the United States. The research shows Marylanders aged 65 and older grew 3.45% from 2023 to 2024, while the number of those under age 18 fell by 0.06%. Nationally, the increase of older adults was 3.1%, while those under 18 shrank by 0.10%. Last year, the state's population rose by 45,000, the most since 2015. Aging populations can lead to slower economic growth and shifting government spending priorities, such as Social Security and Medicare. Now, Prince George's County is home to some of the most affluent Black communities in the United States. Tonight, we begin a new series called The Lux Life, Prince George's County, highlighting real estate in the county. In this episode, we take a look at the current housing market and a single-family home in Upper Marlboro.
Okay, welcome to 11007 Meridian Hill Way in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. Come on through, take a look at my beautiful new listing. So this home is over 4,000 square feet. And they have moldings and crown molding everywhere. This kitchen, this chef's kitchen is perfect for family. You have an influx of people who are moving from Virginia and coming here because Virginia is too expensive. But then you have an influx of people who are also moving to Charles County and Montgomery County because it's a little bit cheaper out there too. But we still have people coming into the county. We are on the 3rd level and it is absolutely beautiful, everybody. I love how wide this area is. This is perfect for a growing family. I want to take you into the bedroom, the secondary bedroom. Look how big this secondary bedroom is. They took pride in when they were building this house, they wanted the kids to have bigger bedrooms. So that's why they picked this model. So in this one, this is another one. It is huge. I tell people right now, on an average payment that you're looking for a first-time home buyer, it's about $2,800 to $3,000, and that's a lot for a first-time home buyer, which is not fair, So it is harder on first-time home buyers right now to get into a home. And then I will take you through the owner's suite. You have your ensuite bathroom that is really gorgeous. So we are in the basement in the lower level now, and the basement is about 1,100 square feet. And out here we have a fully finished rec room, and we also have a full bathroom with a full bedroom also. We also have a beautiful movie room. When interest rates go down, it probably will be a little harder because it will be a bidding war probably. But now, I always say, even though they're at a 6%, I think that you should still try to buy because you're still at an advantage, because when they go down, prices are gonna go up. I always say, you buy when the time is right for you. If the time is not right now, continue to stack up that money, save. You don't buy if you can't do it. Buy when the time is right for you, because it's always a good time to buy real estate.
And to view the full version of this episode, visit our YouTube channel at PGCTV online.
And the 4th of July weekend is one of the biggest box office weekends for moviegoers. And this year, is no exception, as Jurassic World Rebirth dominated this past holiday, grossing $91.5 million over the 3-day weekend and $147 million over the 5-day weekend. Racing to the finish line in second place was the adrenaline-filled Formula One racing film F1, which took in $28 million over the weekend. And rounding out the top 3 is the live-action remake of How to Train Your Dragon, which took in another $11 million. Well, still to come on CTV News, July is National Minority Mental Health Awareness Month.
After the break, we speak to a therapist on modern stigmas surrounding mental health. We'll be right back.
Most hiring algorithms would scream me out.
Some bosses couldn't see me as a leader.
I've run this place for 20 years, but I still need to prove that I'm more than what you see on paper.
I've been running code as long as I've been able to reach a keyboard.
This is what I do. It's second nature for me, coordinating 100 details at once.
It's the way my mind works. I have a very mechanical brain.
I sold them on my skills.
You gotta be so good they can't ignore you.
My magic is
analytics and empathy. That's how I'm getting clients. You have to have the confidence in yourself to show up and defy the odds.
I am more than who I am on paper.
I never got a college degree. And today, I'm the CEO of my own company. People want to tell me I'm one in a million, when actually I'm one of millions. Stars are all around us. It's time for them to shine.
There are a lot of temptations facing young people today, like electronic cigarettes and skateboarding. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. This can lead today's youth to a lifelong addiction and severe lung damage. Recall and consider the facts before making a poor decision.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
Part-time job, full-time hustle, all-time Shiro to all of us. You nurture, we listen. You teach, we thrive. You lift our spirits, but we've got to lay down the truth. It's time for you, our Shiro, to stretch for the stars. A free online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to start boosting your retirement savings today. Start saving more for retirement so you can feel prepared and live your life to the fullest. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
It's an illness many people still suffer through in silence. July is National Minority Mental Health Awareness Month, and it's a time to lift the veil on issues that too often go unseen and unaddressed.
From historic inequities to modern stigmas, mental health in the Black community comes with layers that deserve a louder voice. And joining us now is Dr. Sharon Lawrence, founder and lead therapist at Saela Wellness and Therapeutic Services. Dr. Lawrence, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so can you tell us, why is this month so important for the Black community?
It's an excellent question across the board, because we need people to know that we are impacted like any other demographic, any other ethnicity. There are so many things happening in the communities that is not often recognized, acknowledged, told about, which I'm appreciative of you for doing this segment. And so a lot of times people often believe that we're exempt from a lot of things that are happening and the impact from those things that are happening in the world and just in our communities.
Well, Doc, there's a phrase and it goes, checking in with yourself. What does that really mean and why does it matter?
Paying attention to yourself. It means that you are a priority like anyone else. I think one of the biggest concerns that I often see is that we're helpers. And we often will step in to support family, friends, colleagues, anyone in our communities. But when we often see where there's a need, we don't envision ourselves in front of us as well. And so when we don't pay attention to what we need, there's often a lapse in care, a lapse in self-prioritization, which means that if you're not filling your cup, how can you truly be effective at helping someone else? And so you have to be willing to see how you're feeling, what you're thinking, what your energy level is. Are you eating? Are you drinking water? Are you moving, exercising, sleeping, right? Connecting with people, having impactful relationships and connections. And so making sure that your needs are met, similar to when we think about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. are you getting your basic needs met the same way you would encourage someone else to do so?
And what are some common mental health challenges that Black Americans or Black people face?
The list is very long. I would say one of the things is a lack of access to resources. Excuse me. One of the things is that we're finding is that even though we know that resources exist, not everyone has the ability to get to those resources. They may not have medical coverage. Some people are not aware about some of the things that are available in their communities, whether it's not being marketed accordingly, or they're just not privy to, or they think that they don't qualify for certain services. I know we may talk about stigma at some point, but that's another thing. People feel ashamed. And so based on what people may be saying to them, they may be afraid to connect to resources as well.
How do we get, you talk about stigmatizing someone, being stigmatized. How do we get beyond that?
You got to do what's best for you, honestly. I think if we can continue shutting down, when people are saying things as if suicide or mental health or mental illness is not normal, we need to normalize those discussions. So when someone's saying something negative, be quick to correct them. And you can do so in love, you can do so in kindness, use it as an educative moment, but allow them to understand that, hey, you never know who is going through something. So be mindful of your words, be mindful of your statements, or even your judgments and opinions, because that may be the very thing that will stop someone from seeking the help that they may need, whether it's on a mild level or, a significant severe level. And so I think the first thing is about the language and how we connect with individuals. We want to make sure that people are mindful of what their statements are, but also getting the information. There's, mental health first aid trainings out there that help with this as well. But there's tons of information on the internet. Me and my husband always say you can Google anything, but just a sense of kindness, if you will, getting that information and being mindful of how you speak about things, but also how you share that information so that it will encourage someone and not cause them to retreat from seeking the help that they may necessarily need in that moment.
Now, when it comes to looking for therapy, some people may not have the money that, is needed for those services, but what are some ways that you say we should go about looking for services that are right for us?
Well, the first thing is, it's like a job interview. I tell anyone, ask the right questions, because this is the person that you're going to be sharing information with, that you're trusting with your care. And so just as if, just like that clinician is asking you questions, or that therapist is asking you questions, also ask them questions. Do they specialize in what it is that you're dealing with? How long have they been in practice? You can also ask about their schooling, if you will. Do they take your insurance? If you don't have insurance, are they familiar with other resources that may provide uninsured services for you? And so you want to make sure that that person can answer your questions and that you feel comfortable with them, so that you don't feel like you just have to kind of step into that process with them and say, okay, I'm going to show up. This is the one. If it doesn't feel right, you can definitely say, hey, I want to be able to move on and maybe connect with another provider. And that's okay as well. And sometimes providers will do that as well if they don't feel like clinically it's a good fit, or if there's a higher level of care that may be needed, they may refer that individual out.
All right. Dr. Lawrence, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And for more information on the organization, visit mysalawellness.com.
And stay where you are. Simon Buggs is here with our Monday sports page.
That's right. And I hear he's talking about a shakeup with the Nats. Simon, what's going on in sports?
What's going on, everybody? And coming right up, some exciting news from the worlds of basketball and baseball. Stay tuned.
I am an athlete. I am an educator. I'm an EMT, a neurologist, a veteran, a business owner. I'm a mom. We are survivors.
Cardiovascular disease is the #1 killer of women and doesn't discriminate.
It can affect any woman at any age or stage.
Yet many women don't know it's our greatest health threat.
Encourage 3 women you love to learn more about their risk factors and how they can take charge of their health today.
Okay, sports fans, are you ready? Because your Monday sports page is here. We begin with college hoops news as guard Destiny Riles lit it up this past season for my alma mater's basketball team in Bowie State. And her great play was rewarded as the Baltimore native has been selected to participate in the HBCU All-Star Dream Classic next month. For the Lady Bulldogs this past season, Riles averaged a team-high 19 points, along with 4 boards, 3 assists, and almost 4 steals a game. In NCAA play, she was still a scoring machine, putting up almost 19 points a game. Riles also appeared in all 29 games for her team and averaged 30 minutes played. The big game will take place in Rucker Park over in Harlem on August 9th. Congratulations, Destiny. And sticking with more basketball news, more congratulations are in order for Mystics rookies Kiki Iriafen and Sonia Citron as the pair were selected to play in their first All-Star game. In her first season in the nation's capital, Citron averaged 15 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. The Notre Dame product has also started in all 18 games while scoring 10 or more points in 16 of those matchups, which is the most among rookies. She's also the only rookie this season with multiple games of putting up over 20 points and 10 rebounds. And Iriafen, who has also started in all 18 games, ranks 3rd in scoring, 1st in rebounds per game, and is top 10 in field goal percentage among rookies. The USC product has also recorded 5 double-doubles, which made her just the 2nd rookie in WNBA history to do so. The California native was also the first rookie in Mystics history to earn Rookie of the Month honors for her play back in May. Meanwhile, another local athlete made their first All-Star team also in Orioles first baseman Ryan O'Hearn. The 31-year-old is batting .287 and has recorded 11 home runs and 30 runs batted in his 3rd season in Charm City. The Texas native spoke about being selected, and he says that he was surprised that he made the team.
I never thought it was going to happen. I thought that was probably just a pipe dream and something that just wasn't in the cards for me. And I was completely okay with it. I think that's why I'm just shocked right now. I never, like I said, I spent a lot of time just trying to keep my head above the water in the big leagues and just stick around as long as I possibly could. To be able to say I'm a Major League All-Star I'm blown away.
The All-Star game will take place in Atlanta at Truist Park on July 15th. O'Hearn and the rest of the team will take the Diamond Necks versus the New York Mets tomorrow at 6:35. And finally, the Washington Nationals close out their series against the Boston Red Sox yesterday with a 6-4 loss. The Nats were swept by Boston in the 3-game series. The team will travel to St. Louis to take on the Cardinals next tomorrow at 7:45. And that wraps up your Monday sports page. Back to you, Michaela and Byron.
Thank you, Simon. Let's have a quick look now at our 3-day weather forecast. Tonight it's going to be mostly cloudy with light winds. Tomorrow, another hot one with a high of 95, but grab your umbrellas on the way out because showers and T-storms are expected. Wednesday, more storms are on the way. We'll have a high of 91, a low of 72. And Thursday, the storms are expected to be around till 2 p.m. and we'll have a high of 86.
And for our community calendar, tomorrow afternoon, the Beltsville Branch Library is hosting a family movie. This week's screening will be the Super Mario Brothers movie. The film follows Italian plumber Mario on his adventures with his friends Peach and Toad in the search for his brother Luigi. This screening starts at 1 p.m. For more information, contact the branch manager at 301-937-0294. And that's all the time we have for CTV News. Thanks so much for joining us.
See you tomorrow night. Good night.
Pick up. Joe, pick up the phone. Open up, man.
Connection saves lives. Reach out and check in on a loved one today.